Few of us ever live in the present. We are forever anticipating what is to come or remembering what has gone. Welcome to this fire style class focusing on presence. Through form awareness, balance, and breath, I hope this practice will provide you with the tools to grow both on and off your mat. I recommend a strap for this session and that, like always, you ensure poses you select feel safe and appropriate for your body as it shows up today. Getting started here in a standing posture at the top of your mat, allow the body to lengthen, your palms to face forward, and your eyes to close. As we start to arrive to this space, I invite you to shift your breath to inhales and exhales that come and go through the nose. Beginning to take more time with every breath, beginning to feel an energy and a softness within you as we focus on exactly where we are, every sensation within you, connecting to a form of inhalation and exhalation that will serve you for the duration of our time here together today. As your next breath arrives, begin to flutter the eyelids open, reach the palms overhead. As you exhale, bow forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, breathe out, release the hands down to the mat, step both feet back to high plank position. Begin to activate in the body, and then use an exhale breath to lift the hips high into downward facing dog. Observe how you naturally and normally find this pose, and then start to widen into your foot stance and bring a generous bend to the knees. As we focus here with more attention on form for this posture, I invite you to explore. Think about tilting in your pelvis, drawing the navel closer to your thighs. Draw the shoulder blades together and align your ears to your inner arms. Notice how this feels. And then with an inhale breath, reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Using an exhale with control, step the right foot through, widen your stance, coming to crescent lunge. Any modification you desire is available here. Remember to breathe and hold strong, tucking your tailbone under, exploring what feels best for you in this shape today. As you next breathe out, draw the hands down, straighten into the right leg, draw the left foot close, pyramid pose. Hinging from your hips with every exhale, you draw closer to your front thigh, acknowledging into the backside of both legs. With your next exhale, stepping forward to the top of your mat, ground into your feet, begin to inhale, reach up, come to a stand. We begin to find our first form of balance. Left foot is on the earth, right knee begins to shift upwards in towards the chest. Beginning to find stillness, a grounding sensation in your left foot, a tallness in the body, deepness in the breath, and focusing your gaze on something that is still. With your next exhale, releasing down, breathe in, reach the arms high. Breathe out, come all the way to a forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step both feet back to high plank position, and then shift your hips high, again to downward facing dog. In that same formation we took last time, a bit of a bend to the knees, drawing the chest really close to the thighs. Gazing between the shins, spreading your fingers really wide. And take another big breath in and out. With your next inhale, left foot lifts, stepping it through to crescent lunge. Left foot forward, right leg long and behind you. Choose any modification that feels best for you. Grow tall into your spine and remember to breathe. When you are ready, transitioning our way into pyramid pose. Left foot is forward, right leg is back. Hips are square and forward. And as you breathe out, you focus on drawing the chest closer to the front leg. Acknowledging our hamstrings here. One more exhale. When you are ready, stepping forward and then coming all the way up to a stand, we start to balance. Right foot stays low, left knee in towards the chest. Taking a moment to feel stability in the supportive foot, to grow longer in the spine, and a bit more connected to how it feels to be here, still and tall. Amazing work. Releasing that foot down, inhaling, reach the arms high. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank position. With an exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Often in this pose, we focus on having straight legs, and as a result, the spine really curves. Today, with knees bent, we get the opportunity to really find a nice long line between tailbone and the crown of your head. Notice how this feels. Activate in the shoulders. Engage into both hands before we find that sequence once again. With an inhale, lifting the right leg up, this time the option to stack in your hips. As you breathe out, draw the right foot through, crescent lunge. Our second visit here, how can you grow and learn from your past experience? How can you make this shape a bit more fiery in the lower body, active in the shoulders, while finding opportunity for softness? As you next breathe out, draw the hands down, step into pyramid pose with right foot forward, left foot back. A reminder that both heels are grounded in this posture, hips are square, and legs are straight. From pyramid pose, we step to the top of the mat, ground in the feet. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we begin to balance either exactly as you did last round or grabbing onto your strap for variation number 2. Weaving the strap behind the ball of your right foot as you begin to lengthen the right leg up. A very challenging form of balance. The strap is incredibly helpful as a form of support to keep the spine tall. Elbows are tucked close to the torso. We feel a generous stretch into the backside of the lifted right leg. Try your best to straighten into the left leg. Remember to breathe. And as you next exhale, release your strap and your foot down, come to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank position. And then lift the hips high, down dog. As we focus more time on lengthening the back sides of the legs, you might begin to notice your bent knees do not need to be as bent. Maybe you start to explore what it feels like to straighten them, so long as the torso, the back side, can stay incredibly straight. Coming onto the left side here, with an inhale, left leg lifts. Perhaps you stack the hips and then step through to your crescent lunge. Remember to breathe, to sink deeper with every exhale, to stay active in both thighs. And eventually use a breath out to draw the hands to the earth, step your right foot forward, pyramid pose. When you are ready, we begin to make our way to our forward fold, to then lift up to a stand, beginning to balance. This time it is the right leg that stays low, the left foot that lifts. Weaving a strap behind the ball of your left foot as you begin to lengthen it nice and high, straight into both knees, tall into your backside, focused on something still with a deep sense of connection to slow and mindful breath. Really well done. Releasing your strap and your foot, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, step both feet back. And then we meet in downward facing dog. Again, observe the back sides of the legs, the activation in the shoulders, how close your rib cage can come to your thighs, remembering to gaze through the shins. We move through the sequence one more time with an option to add a little bit onto our balance. With an inhale, reaching the right leg all the way up, perhaps you stack into your hips, ground into the left heel, and then step the right foot through for crescent lunge. Our final visit to this pose, can you sink a little bit deeper into the hips? Can you draw the shoulder blades a little further down the backside? With an exhale, hands to the earth, stepping forward, pyramid pose. Last visit on this side, can you go a little closer, nose to knee? Can you find a softness in your upper body? From here to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to stand up tall. Ground into your left foot. Option to find that first pose variation. You can use your strap, or if your upper body says yes, holding on to the sole of your foot as you straighten your right leg high. Like I'm demonstrating on screen here, this requires a lot of flexibility into the shoulders and both legs. And it is incredibly important that you listen to what your body is saying. If this does not feel safe, incorporate your strap or come back to that first balancing visit. Eventually using an exhale to release all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back, and then we meet in downward facing dog. Observe from right to left as one side. Feel longer, more comfortable. Is this pose getting easier with every returning visit? Take one more deep inhale and exhale. And then begin to lift into the left leg, stack your hips, keep your chest towards the right thigh. As you breathe out, step the left foot through, crescent lunge. Final visit of today's practice. How deep can you sink? How intentional can your breath be? Use your next exhale to draw the hands down, stepping the right foot in, pyramid pose. Exhale to step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to stand up tall for our final visit. Right foot stays low, left foot begins to lift in whatever manner feels safest, most comfortable, and appropriate for your practice today. Remember to hold your gaze on something still. As deep and as full as this breath can be, allow it to anchor you to this place, to keep you in the moment and holding in balance a little longer. Incredible job. As you next exhale, forward fold, give yourself a moment to shuffle out, release into the head, and then we do something a little different. With a halfway lift inhale, as you exhale, fold, right foot stays, left foot steps back for warrior one. Both feet are grounded here, left foot is on a 45-degree angle, hips shine forward, and arms are lifted. Palms face inwards, shoulder blades melt down the back. Tuck your tailbone under, and see if you can sink a little deeper into the front knee. Option to stay as you are, or begin to interlace the fingers as the hands draw closer down to the backside of your left knee. Your heart shines upwards. You feel a stretch both into your lower body and into your shoulder space. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, step to the top of your mat, hands on your hips, wide chair pose. Keep the spine as vertical as you possibly can, activating in the thighs into your glutes. Remember to breathe. This is one of 2 visits. Amazing. Exhaling to release, come down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, left foot stays, right foot steps back. Once again, warrior one. Take a moment to check your form. We want the left knee tracking on top of the ankle or close to. Hips are squared forward and both feet are grounded. Noticing if there's any space to soften, allow yourself one more breath as you are, before perhaps you interlace the fingers, drawing the hands nice and low, shine the heart high. With your next breath, draw your hands to your hips, step both feet forward for your second visit to this wide chair pose. The last time we will be here, notice if there is chance to sink a bit deeper, to lift the spine a bit higher. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Coming back to warrior one with the right leg forward. Inhale, when you are ready, lift the arms high, and then exhale, interlace the fingers, draw the hands down the backside of the left leg. We are preparing for our humble warrior, an optional pose if you would like to. As you next breathe out, draw the right shoulder down and inside the right thigh. Your gaze heads towards your left leg and hands start to press towards the sky. Remember to sink low in the hips here. As you next breathe out, hands come down, both feet step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release your hands. Warrior one on the left side. Left leg is forward, right leg is back, and right away we interlace the fingers. Sink a bit deeper, round the tailbone under. Determine if you would like to stay here or if you would enjoy a visit to humble warrior on this side. If so, left shoulder slides inside the left knee, hands press towards the ceiling, staying deep into your front knee. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, forward fold both feet to the top of your mat. Complete with those movements, we have one more chance to find strength in our body. Inhaling to a halfway lift, exhaling to fold, plant your hands, step back, high plank position. Either staying as you are, or with a strong core, begin to tap your hand to your opposite shoulder and then switch sides. Left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left. Very slowly and mindfully here, allowing your body to stay as still as possible, strong in our entirety, tapping from side to side. We'll do this twice. With your next exhale, downward facing dog, rebound, observe this pose, and rest. If you would rather spend more time in downward facing dog, allow yourself to be as you are to observe, or come for one more visit to high plank position, tapping from side to side. Really call on your midsection to keep you still and stable here. Notice all the muscles engaging to make this possible. Remember to breathe and find each side one last time. Lift the hips high, downward facing dog, smile on your face. The hard work is complete. Our last visit to downward facing dog, I invite you to explore what it feels like for you as you start to draw the heels down towards the earth. You can stay here for as long as you like, noting that when you are ready, I invite you to come down to your tabletop position where you'll take a moment or two to rebound. Perhaps it is through cats and cows, or maybe other movements will feel more appropriate for your body here today. When you feel complete, bringing your strap along, we will lower to our backside. With 2 stretches here for hips and hamstrings to ease us into Shavasana. If something else would feel more suitable for you, I invite you to take it. Weaving the strap behind the ball of your right foot, begin to straighten into your right leg as we, for one more time today, find our hamstring. If without a strap, noticing if your hands are causing your shoulders to lift off the mat, I invite you instead to draw them a little closer down. No matter with or without a strap, my hope for you here is to find as much ease in the upper body as possible, to feel a soft lengthening into the backside of the leg. You can stay in this posture longer if you wish, or begin to come into half happy baby. Bending into the right knee, start to draw the right knee down your side body, Your shin is completely perpendicular to the ground, your foot is flexed, and your hand holds on to the bottom of your foot coming around the outside. Taking one more breath in your half-happy baby before we start to switch to the left hamstring. Either using a strap behind the ball of your foot or softly using your hands, allow yourself to find the backside of your left leg. Invite your exhale breaths to bring you further down into this pose, looking for softness and stretch at every opportunity. You can stay longer if you wish, or begin to transition to half-happy baby. Your left knee slides down your left side of your torso. The foot is picked up and you reach for the sole via the outside. Remember to breathe deeply. Staying here, we take a few rounds of deep and mindful breath. When you are ready, releasing yourself into Shavasana in whatever shape calls to you today. Looking for comfort and stillness, you invite your eyes to close and your body to be softly embraced by the ground beneath you. Though not moving in these last few moments, our practice is ever important as we do what we can to stay completely where we are. Drawing a deep focus onto your breath, enjoy your Shavasana. Very softly and slowly, begin to release your attention on your breath. Begin to draw focus onto the space you are in. Notice and observe what is around you. With eyes still closed, begin to draw that focus inwards once again to the sensations in your body. As you start to wiggle in the toes and fingers, maybe you make a nice long stretch, and then notice what it feels like to come to a seated upright position. We'll meet with hands in front of heart center. Take a final deep inhale, bowing forward. Namaste.